Hey YouTube, this is my first video, hopefully the first of many. For the most part, my experience with YouTube has been keeping up with the atheist crowd, like Amazing Atheist, Fake Sagan, Tommy from the Bronx, Croesus Borg, just to name a few. And also the mostly Christian religious crowd that argues with them and breaks themselves up against them regularly, such as Yoke Up, Jesus Freak, Venom Fang X, etc. And, in fact, here just a few minutes ago, I watched Yoke Up's most recent videos called Satan's Voice. I'm sitting there watching it, and I've watched a lot of his videos and Jesus Freaks, and Venom Fang X's, and Pastor Javid's, etc. And, they all seem like nice people. Like, legitimately, actually nice people. And even Venom Fang X, if you could get him to stop being crazy for 5 minutes, I'm sure he's a fairly nice guy. But I can only take so much nice if it's enshrouded in crazy. It's just, alright. You take the Christian religion, like, here you have this God. And then you have the devil, and all these Christians are just, they hate the devil, afraid of the devil, what he does, he's so evil, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, I understand if that religion is true, if it's completely true. Just pretend for a moment that it is. I understand the devil's position. Because why follow that? It's because if that religion is true and everything that is said about the devil is true, that he's so evil and he's so bad and so manipulative and he's a liar and he's just a total son of a bitch and will ruin your life and just wants you to go to hell with him, away from the glory of God, and etc. Taking all those things into account, I still would actively choose Satan over God. Because even with all that, Satan is nowhere near the tyrant that his maker is. I can't get behind the idea of following something like that. But the fact of the matter is I don't think either one exist. And, well, I'm not going to be making videos trying to convince people that are religious to not be religious. I'm 30 years old, and I've been having these kind of discussions since I was a teenager, and I long ago came to realize that, for the most part, trying to convince a religious person to not be is a fruitless effort. And part of me actually thinks that it's not quite fair to do that it should be something that they can come to on their own. But thinking about the whole conversion process or people changing their minds about stuff, I see a big difference there as well between the atheist crowd and the religious crowd. When an atheist chooses to become religious, the atheist community, or an atheist that sees it, a friend, or whoever, when it happens, there most of the time it's like, ugh. But it becomes a point of thought. I mean, it's something to sigh about, but it becomes a point of thought because an atheist will usually think about it and try to empathize. How did this person come to this decision? Why did they do it? What led to it? How did it happen? because it makes one wonder, could that happen to me? Is that a line of thought? Did they logically come to this? I doubt it. But, the point is, it becomes something to think about and contemplate. But typically, an atheist will still be friend with his ex-atheist friend. They'll still hang out and talk and etc. Now, when a Christian decides to shed the shackles of their faith and become an atheist or an agnostic or anything but a Christian, what I have seen typically, this might not be the case all the time, but what I have seen is that the Christian community shuns them. Usually the first things out of their mouth are, "You were never a Christian to begin with. There's no such thing as an ex-Christian. You either are or you never were. You never can be." I mean, it's a little different. And when an atheist sees someone that's religious become an atheist as well, it's not like all the atheists sit there and start giving each other high fives and like, yeah. It's not like that. It's like, well, now you have somebody you can talk with and be like, this is, why I think this way. This is how it came to be. And now you see why, at least to some degree, why I am this way. And it probably works the same way with an atheist becoming a Christian. I mean, they sit there and talk about their faith, how they came to faith. But the point is that for an atheist, it's something to think about and contemplate. Whereas with the Christians, usually it becomes a way of patting each other on the back. Or, just grounding their faith even more into themselves in watching somebody leave their faith by saying, they were never a Christian to begin with, and that somehow makes them even more Christian, that they didn't give in to whatever temptations it is that led that person astray. But anyway, I'm not going to be making those kind of arguments trying to convince people to not be religious. I would love to actively get into discussions about it. Maybe some debates. I'm not real big on heated argument. I hope that doesn't happen, because to be honest, I'm here to make friends with people and get to know others, provoke some thought, and produce some good discussions. But anyway, like I said, this is my first video, hopefully the first of many. And well, I wish all of you well. I hope you enjoyed this, and there will be more of this to come. Thanks.